Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app, O'Connor and Company.
8:07, O'Connor and Company, busy Thursday morning. We're going to plow through what's left of this news cycle and revisit some of the major stories, including the dismissal of Jimmy Kimmel, the indefinite suspension, and also the interest rate drop that we got yesterday. Didn't make a whole lot of news. We'll find out why and whether it was enough. Steve Moore, Heritage Foundation, will join us on that. It's Larry O'Connor with Bethany Mandel this very busy Thursday morning. Thank you, Bethany, for being here.
I'm thrilled to be here. I love hanging out with you. I spend so much of my day with small people. To be able to sit here and chat with you, grown up to grown up, for 4 hours is my favorite part of my week.
And in a very public way, because there are many grown-ups joining us as well. And you don't get more grown-up than Katie McFarland, class act all around. And so I'm sure you were enjoying the pomp and circumstance of a Windsor Castle royal banquet. Thank you very much. That was quite a sight to behold, Katie.
Well, also, I spent 2 years at Oxford University doing a master's degree, and so for me it was doubly fascinating to see all the pomp and circumstance. And also because I had met then Prince of Wales, Charles, in the 1980s at a small dinner at the British ambassador's residence in London. And really to see him and watch him so significantly over several hours yesterday was really to see a man who came to fruition. I mean, this is the man he was meant to be. Thoughtful, with a little bit of a sense of humor, but really purposeful and thoughtful and hardworking. And I like the toast that the president gave to the king of a man who, you know, he admired greatly for all of this sort of tenacity he had for his position. So it was great for me. I loved every single minute of it.
It really was. People need to remember that when they host and fete and celebrate the President of the United States, they are also celebrating us, our nation. The toast was to the people, the American people, and it was so great to be so well represented. People are saying, though, that the real important meeting is going on right now with the Prime Minister. It's probably true in terms of the nuts and bolts, but there is an importance to the diplomatic importance of the visuals and the ceremony and everything that happened last night. That doesn't happen by accident. That was a message about this relationship, wasn't it?
Yeah, and for President Trump, I've worked for 4 presidents, and President Trump is the only one who he sort of does business upside down in the sense that for him, it's the personal connection, it's the relationship that he makes, and then he tells his staff and his aides and his cabinet officers, okay, carry it out. Most presidents, by the time they have one of these really formal grand meetings, they've already done all the hard work has been done by the staff, and it's really the top leaders, just for the photo op, sign the picture, they're finished. But for President Trump, the personal relationship is what drives it, not the national, not the whole bureaucracy and the team. So for President Trump, who had gotten to know the Prince of Wales before Trump even got involved in politics, remember President Trump built golf courses in Scotland. So he was familiar and had known him for a long time. And then when he met him during the first term, but after President Trump left office, you know, a lot of the world abandoned him. But the king, that's still Prince of Wales, Charles, kept up the conversation, kept communicating with him. So President Trump coming back into office, it's a return of a friend. And that friendship, that personal connection, I think has driven a lot of what President Trump has done in the relationship with Great Britain. So in Trump's first term, he tried to negotiate a U.S.-UK trade deal once Britain left the European Union, once there was Brexit. It didn't happen for a lot of their reasons and our reasons, but that's why President Trump drove the U.S.-UK trade deal as the first of the trade deals he did in his second term. And Britain has gotten very favorable terms, better than anybody else. First of all, they were first. But secondly, I think it's because of this enduring friendship and respect that the president has for Britain.
So I was really troubled to see that right after the conclusion of this visit, that the UK is planning on acknowledging a Palestinian state, basically rewarding them for terrorism and all of the impact of the last 2 years. Do you think that there are conversations happening behind closed doors right now where Trump is trying to advocate for them not to reward terrorism, or do you think this is like more of a ceremonial sort of happy visit?
I think it's a happy visit, ceremonial for sure. But today, as Larry just said, this is where the real business is done, and it's the trade element of it. and it's a mutual investment. But it's also going to be those tough conversations, which is going to be over Ukraine. It'll certainly be over potential recognition of a Palestinian state, whatever that means. I mean, who is this Palestinian state?
Yeah,
Where's
right,
the government?
exactly.
Is the head of it the head of Hamas? I mean, it's very vague and nebulous. I think it's for the part of Great Britain and France especially, their espousal of recognizing some nebulous Palestinian state is a lot of it for their own domestic political reasons. You know, the Muslim voting blocs are significant now in both countries. And the anti-Israel sentiment in Britain is really strong. I mean, anti-Semitism, but anti-Israel for sure. And so I think a good bit of that is a recognition from a weak prime minister that he can't do without a certain voting bloc, and he doesn't want to appear to be doing anything that's pro-Israel. So once Macron announced he was going to recognize a Palestinian state, I think it was inevitable that the British Prime Minister would follow through. Although, saying that, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
A recognition of a state, are you supposed to exchange ambassadors? You're supposed to have state visits with each other? You're supposed to we don't even know what this Palestinian state is. Is it Hamas?
Yeah, these are all really important questions that I think they need to answer. They need to answer on the world stage, and I hope that these are the questions that President Trump is asking.
Yeah, I should hope so as well. Anything else that you expect to come of these meetings between the president and the prime minister? There's still a lot at stake, including a trade deal that sort of has been announced but hasn't been cemented, and, of course, issues with NATO.
I think that a couple of things I would assume, are coming up in their conversations. Obviously, Ukraine. Obviously, the Palestinian Hamas-Israel issue. But I also think President Trump's going to press him in private to say, okay, look, you've always wanted America to do so much for Ukraine. Okay, finally you're spending enough of your enough money on defense. You know, you finally gotten to where you should have gotten to a long time ago, but you're there, you're getting there. But what about, why are you Europe, less so Britain, but why is Europe still buying Russian oil and natural gas? You're making it possible for Russia to fight this war by the revenues you're giving them for buying their oil and natural gas. We want you to join with us. I'm happy to get tough, I would think President Trump would say, but you have to join me. We're going to feel pain, but you need to feel pain too.
Katie McFarland, we will leave it at that. It's always great to talk with you. Thank you. Go back and watch the videos. By the way, I need pictures of you at Oxford. I need to see what the whole scene looked like. I bet it was pretty stunning.
Debating at the Oxford Student Union? Yeah,
Let's go.
It was pretty cool.
I want to see that. Was there video? There wasn't video, was there?
I'm sad to say there probably was not video in those days.
That's all right. Well, that's okay. Some of the best memories are captured in our minds.
Oh, Larry, you're getting just so out there today.
You have no idea. Thank you, KT.
Thank you.
It's 8:15.